Welcome to the City of Caldwell podcast. Today we have Jeremy from the Parks and Rec Department. Jeremy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and intro us on who you are?
All right, yeah. So my name is Jeremy Diosio. I was born and raised here in Idaho. I grew up in a small town of Marsing, so it's like 20 minutes from here. I was born out there and raised out there. Grew up in a small town. My graduating class was like 50 people, so pretty small school. Played sports growing up. I did everything between like football, basketball. And in a small school, you got to play like everything, or else you just kind of just sit on the sidelines or whatever. I grew up playing basketball, football, baseball. We did track and field or whatever sports they offered out there, and always just staying busy. I lived out there most of my life, and then I finally moved to Caldwell back like probably 2010. Because that's where all the jobs are here in Caldwell or Nampa. So we did that, and then. Yeah, because grew up around, so kind of a local person, know the area really well. And then I moved away for a little while and then wanted to come back home because this is home where family's from, so yeah.
So what's it like growing up here, leaving, a lot of growth happens, and then you come back?
Right.
So yeah, what's that like being a native and then returning?
Definitely. It's crazy because you're so used to, Idaho's known for being small, it's like a small town community, small town, everything. It's like everybody says Idaho's so small, so you're always like, dang, But when I move away, I lived in LA for a little while.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was a huge change. But then even coming back within a year, just like the construction, the new freeways that we got, or the overpass before, like if you're a real Idaho native, the overpass to go to like Winco and stuff right there?
Yeah.
Or is it Costco? I think Costco. So that used to never be there, and you used to have to go behind the Lowe's and stuff, and go all the way out to the sugar beet factory to get onto the freeway. But it's kind of like just seeing the changes is like, holy cow, this place is growing. And then coming back and you're like, okay, it's different, a little bit different. And then moving away again, and then just coming back and forth, and then just seeing how big like Caldwell's getting, Nampa's getting, Boise, Meridian, Eagle, all that's been, So it's fun to see, but it's just like, oh man, I guess the saying here in Idaho is like, oh, that used to be a field, or that used to be a field, and then,
yeah.
But now it's like homes, we got a lot of subdivisions going up, apartments, everything's kind of changing.
Right.
So, and it's good to see, but it's crazy because everything used to be so just, if you will, home or Idaho, just a lot of cornfields, a lot of, beet fields or stuff like that, but. And then we got the Amazon, and that was huge. So, but
yeah, I think the thing that people ask me about are all the potato fields.
All right.
All the potatoes, and like, yep, all the potato fields in the Treasure Valley that I don't see. So you do have a family. Tell us about them a little bit.
Yeah. So I met my wife back in 2009. We got married 2011, and then. We decided to have children. I didn't go to school, we met just working. We didn't meet in college or nothing like that. We just met at our job, or we were both working at Lowe's in Nampa. And we got married 2011, and then now I have 5 girls. So I got 5 daughters, and they're all 2 years apart. 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So
nice.
Got 5 girls. It's kind of hard to keep track of, but. Yeah, so I'm a big family man. I came from a small family, so it was just me and my brother growing up. And I always wanted a big family. So when me and my wife met, we talked. She was like, oh, maybe 3. I want 3 kids. And then I was like, well, I want 5 or 6. I wanted a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of compromised at 5. So I got 5 girls. They keep me busy. It's pretty fun. So
cool. Now, tell us what's going on in the world of Parks and Rec.
Yeah, so Parks and Rec. So I'm kind of new to the city of Caldwell Parks and Rec. I've done a little bit, I worked out in Utah for Parks and Rec, and I did a job out in Nebraska. Same thing, Parks and Rec, and then I actually worked for a prison system doing recreation and stuff. But for the city of Caldwell Park and Rec, it's kind of growing. They say it used to be small before we got our new office building. We were in this little 2 office or 3 office pretty compact little office space, and now we got a bigger building. It's growing. We got a new director, and just different positions within the Parks and Rec, because everything's growing around here. We're getting more people. I don't know what Caldwell used to be like like how many people. But now we're probably up to close to maybe 60, 70,000. I don't know.
We just eclipsed 70,000.
70,000. So we're trying to grow. We're obviously expanding because everything's getting so big, and so we're trying to keep up with the times, if you will. So Caldwell's trying to get new sports in, new activities, just trying to keep up with keeping people busy in town.
So what kind of new sports and new activities are coming up?
Yeah, so for the new sports and stuff, we got pickleball. We're trying to do a lot of adult sports and youth sports as well. But for adults, we're trying to do a pickleball tournament, and that's pretty fun because it's just pickleball is like a growing sport in the nation. It's always been around, I think, since the 60s or 70s. I'm not too sure when it started, but it's just been like super huge, growing, and like popular in like Utah is huge. They have a big pickleball community. Florida, the bigger states, if you will, and it's kind of catching on here in Idaho. But so yeah, we're trying to do pickleball. We're also trying to like the old sports too. We have like a flag football league for men, a softball league, and then a basketball league. So we're just trying to get those going, keep them up and stuff. I know COVID came around, kind of just put a damper on everything, but so we're just trying to revamp everything, get it new, get it going, and keep our community busy. So
cool. Tell us about the pickleball tournament. When is it? Where is it going to be?
Yeah, so the pickleball tournament will be, actual day is August 16th. That's when our first tournament, and that's actually going to be the first tournament for the city. So, because we just building new courts out at Luby Park. We're getting 8 courts out there, and then they're going to be enclosed. So each court's going to be enclosed to itself, and so the tournament, we wanted to do something big. So with our new pickleball courts, because they used to have old courts, but they were kind of a little bit run down, if you will. I guess what happened was they wanted something new. Right. A lot of people play pickleball, and they were like, oh, let's build pickleball courts. So to throw it off, we were going to do a tournament. It's not going to be the opening day, but it's our first tournament for the city. But yeah, that'll be August 16th. We're also trying to do come try pickleball before. We don't know exact date yet, maybe in August. I think there's National Pickleball Day in August.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to try to do something to promote that tournament and just kind of get the community out and come play. So
cool. Why do you think pickleball is becoming such a popular sport?
That one's, it just, I don't know, everybody, it kind of blew up. So back in 2005, or I want to say 2004, I had a teacher that, we were doing I forgot what class it was, but anyway, you play a whole bunch of sports. And we played pinochle, football, basketball, netball. Netball's a different version of basketball. And pickleball was one of them, right? And she's like, oh, I love pickleball. And, she's a little older. Mm-hmm. But so she was like, oh, pickleball's a sport to do. Anyway, so she was like, and then we were like, this is dumb. This is like ping pong, This is nothing big. But then after that, it got really big. And I don't know why it's growing, but it's just it really took off. So
I think now I see a lot more younger people play. I mean, I do see a big demographic that are usually retired or they have a little bit more time or expendable income usually, but then you do see kind of the younger kind of crowd coming up and playing and learning to play as well.
Definitely. So. Yeah, it's going to be big with everybody, not just if you will, the more retired, if you will. They have a lot of time, so it's kind of, I think they grew up with it too, Tennis, it's kind of like tennis, but yeah, the younger crowd, it's just taken off with us, from anywhere from 16. I think there's a national player that's 15 or 16, and she's one of the best in the nation right now.
The number 1 ranked female is 15 years old,
so yeah, so it's kind of growing within our youth, and then to middle age up to all the way to adults. So it's got a fun sport. It's fun to try. It's just fun. It's something new too,
So what would you say to somebody who's never played before? Why should they try it out?
It's not as hard as tennis, I guess. Everybody thinks it's like tennis because you have if you will, a racket or a paddle. Everybody has a background not everybody, but everybody thinks it's like tennis. So it's like, oh no, it's too hard, but it's a little paddle. You think of ping pong on a tennis court, and it's just fun, and it's not. I mean, it does get physical. It's pretty demanding, but not physically demanding in the sense where you're gonna blow out your knees or you're gonna take a big hit or something. So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just fun, but
I think when people ask me what it's like, I tell them if tennis, badminton, and ping pong had a baby, it would be called pickleball.
Right,
Is
right.
what I would call it. So
It's kind of funny because like I said, it's been around for a long time, but like it wasn't really big, you know. Like you think about your baseballs, your footballs, your basketballs, like that's always been around. Tennis has always been around. But pickleball, maybe, I don't know. I've never seen it in like a national sport or
right.
kind of like used to do tennis and all these other big major sports. But
So how can people sign up if they're interested in taking a beginner's class, or they want more information about that? Maybe pickleball courts, around town, or if they want to sign up for that actual tournament, how do they do that?
Yeah, so through our City of Caldwell website, cityofcaldwell.org, there's a Parks and Rec tab that you can go and click, and it'll take you to our we use Civic Rec, so it'll take you to our website, and you'll see our catalog on there. Also on that website, you'll see our sense of our catalog in the sense of like what's going on, so the sports. But anyway, when you go click those links and stuff, you'll go and then it'll show you everything that we do. So there's little tabs from pickleball, basketball, football, dance, and then you'll go and sign up on there. You'll create an account, so you got to create an account with us, and then you'll your name, your address and stuff, and then you can go sign up for those kind of sports there. Or you can come into our office as well. So we have like flyers or sign up sheets and stuff. It's pretty easy. So
okay,
pretty user friendly.
I think some people don't know that the rec side of things. I think there's like cooking classes. There's trips that people can sign up for and go.
Yeah, there's a lot that we offer from the city in a sense. Like the trips. There's senior excursions. There's they take trips anywhere from like local. I know there's a train trip they go on in Oregon, and they do a rafting trip or like a jet boat trip here in Idaho. Then they also travel to like the East Coast.
Right.
And I think they do an Oregon coast, like so West and East Coast they get to do a lot. But yeah, there's also cooking classes like you said, and that's from like anywhere from baking to they do gluten free like dishes, and then other things. I don't know what they offer. I know there's donut classes, there's candy classes that they kind of goes with the seasons. So our instructors will like, oh, I want to do this, and then it's all in the activity guide that we have. Yeah, so there's those kind of classes, and then there's dance classes that we offer. Those are for the youth, and then they do ballet too. If you wanted to do like a ballet class, it's kind of hard because like not everybody knows that we offer those, so they're a little bit smaller in a sense. So kind of get more one-on-one time, I think. But like for the little dance, I think those fill up pretty quick.
Sure.
And then they have gymnastics and karate. So,
are there any parks that you manage or oversee, or your department oversees, that you feel like are kind of under the radar? Because I think a lot of people know Mallard Park.
Right.
A lot of people know Brothers. But are there some that you're saying, hey, this one's actually pretty cool,
right?
But you might not know about this spot right here.
Definitely. Yeah, like you said, Mallard's big because it's by the lake, and then they have a nice, they have a lot of gazebos, and they have disc golf out there, so that one gets really utilized as well. Memorial Park, we have here where we're at. That one has a band shell, and then kind of just centralized for the City of Caldwell, so that one's pretty used. I think the one that's underused is Luby Park, but that's going to be where we put the pickleball courts. So I think it's going to kind of grow, but it's off of 10th Avenue. It's a little bit tucked away over there below Canyon Hill. I know there's a baseball field out there. There's a volleyball court, a sand volleyball pit, and then obviously the pickleball courts. And there's just a nice area in a sense of like, because there's a rose garden out there. I don't know, that one kind of gets like left behind, if you will. I know it's out there, but a lot of people don't really know about it, if you will. And it's a really nice area in the summer, all the roses they have. And yeah, like Brothers, and then with Brothers Park, we're actually growing that one too. So it's Brothers and Sisters Park, and that's going to grow in a sense of like we're going to try to utilize it for soccer, more of our soccer activities, and just kind of, I don't know if they're going to put like shelters out there yet, but it's still growing. But I know they wanted to expand their soccer and stuff. So
I think one that I didn't really know about till recently was Curtis Park.
Definitely.
Yeah, can you tell us about that one a little bit
Yeah,
more?
Curtis Park is kind of tucked away. Not a lot of people know how to get there. It's kind of off the beaten path, if you will, because you have to go down a dirt road. And but it's really nice because it kind of goes, I guess, by the river, but not too close. But anyway, you go. I don't know exactly the road, but there's that one lane bridge in Caldwell that you go out, and then you just follow that around, kind of between Middleton and Caldwell.
Right.
But yeah, that one gets underutilized a lot. There is a lot of people. I think you can camp there. I'm not too sure, but I know once you rent it, you know, there is a gate that closes it off, so it kind of looks like it's closed off. But there's a little parking area, not too much, but anyway, you go to the side and then you'll yeah, you just kind of walk around the gate. There's pass back there, so and then you're kind of secluded from everybody. It's away.
Yeah.
It's kind of quiet, and you don't really notice it. So
I feel like that'd be a great spot for a photo shoot or
oh,
something.
definitely.
So.
Pretty, and like it's really pretty in the summertime. I bet in the wintertime. I've never been out there. I know they utilize it a lot for like sometimes they'll do like a concert out there or something, you know, a bigger event for like if you had a family or wanted to bring some more people. But
I feel like when I went there was a wood path that went all the way
around it. Definitely.
And I thought that was pretty neat. The river was kind of overflowing a little bit and swollen, so we were like right on the water as we were walking over it.
Right.
The kids thought that was pretty neat, and we took our dogs out there and they ran off and ran into the water and stuff too.
Right.
So they enjoyed it, but it's pretty wide open. It looks like.
Yeah,
so.
it's really open. I think the biggest thing with that one is because it's closed off. There is a gate, so a lot of people think, oh, it's closed, you know. But if you can find a parking out there, you just walk around the gate because it's open to the public. It's a public park, so
Yeah.
yeah, that one's really underutilized. But I mean, it does get not like our band shelters when they get rented out, but that one does get used quite a bit. But
Okay.
for that, so
Well, was there anything else that you wanted to share? Things that people ask about that you wanted to hit up, or just final thoughts?
yeah, we're trying to, like I said earlier, we're trying to grow the rec and stuff for our parks and rec. We're trying to get new ideas, so you know we're always open to, you know, if somebody has a new sport or new activity that somebody wants to do. So like I said, I'm kind of newer to the city. I started back in August of last year, so I came in. You know, they had their sports already going, but they're always like, oh, you know, whatever you have, bring to the table. You know, we're always open to try new things. So I love pickleball. I played pickleball. So that was fun because I was like, they already had new courts and that was already in the works before I even got here. So I was super excited. I was like, hey, let's do a pickleball tournament. And then everybody jumped on board, even like the ones that, you know, never even played it. So they're like, oh, that'd be fun. And then there's a couple of local groups around that, you know, they're like, oh yeah, like we should do something together and work together. So that's pretty cool. We're trying to just get the, like I said, like the adult sports going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're trying to get softball. That one's been a struggle because a lot of people want to do tournaments, but it's a time commitment for sure. Even if we like, you know, do tournaments, I'm trying to come up with a couple tournaments in October just so we can kind of get like the feel of it for the city. I also want to do a wiffle ball league. Wiffle ball is kind of taking off, not like pickleball, but if you follow or kind of follow social media, you'll see there's wiffle ball leagues out there in different states, and then it looks pretty fun. I played it a couple, like it's like a backyard game, so I thought we could bring some tournaments. I know Boise and Meridian, they do a really good league, so I was like, why can't we bring that here?
Sure.
So hopefully, I'm trying to launch that. But yeah, we're always open to, you know, doing new activities or sports. So if anybody has suggestions, you know, just tell them, give us a call.
Sweet.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, Jeremy, thanks so much for sharing. Thanks for taking the time to just chat with you, get to know you a little bit better, and
definitely
tell us what's happening. So
yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. Thank you.
Appreciate it.